Hi Scorpios, welcome to Birdie's Intuitive Tarot. This is your reading for the second week of November already. Happy birthday, Scorpios. And thank you to those of you who've already subscribed. I will be announcing the winner of the free reading for October this week. So please check in. If you'd like to enter to win a free reading, just comment on the video, like the video, and subscribe to my channel so you can get notified anytime a reading comes through. All right. So for my birthday, which was yesterday, I was given a new deck called Beyond Lemuria. So I'm going to use these as the oracle cards to start off our reading. Lemurians are a cryptid or a race of beings that live in Mount Shasta and are said to be associated with Lemuria, or the fallen city, also known to some as Atlantis. So if you have any ties to Atlantis, this could be a really cool reading for you. Also, Lemurians are light beings, so they're here to help with the ascension of humanity from our physical, grounded, 3D focused selves to our spiritual selves. So let's get started. Let's see what is in store for you. Spirit, please protect this reading. Send any negative energy back to sender transmuted tenfold for the greatest good of all and harm to none. Archangel Michael, please bring compassion to these messages. And clarity to these messages. Mother Mary, please bring compassion to these messages. And Kali, please cut energetic ties to entities or energies no longer serving our highest good. Send those energies and entities on to their next greatest plane of existence to finish out their karma there. Amen, amen. So mote it be. Jai Ma Kali. All right, Scorpios. What is going on for you this week? And happy birthday to all my Scorpios. Let me know when your birthday is. You can put it down in the comments. I'm always interested. Starseed Elemental 45. Yeah, my star seeds. Look at that. So star seeds came down from the stars with the intention of helping humanity ascend. Let's read what this says. This deck is by Izzy Ivy, and I just love the artwork. Let's see, 45. Starseed Elemental, children as teachers, fun, lightheartedness, joy, laughter, newly incarnated souls, the child within, maintaining an inquisitive perspective, wonder, and imagination. You might have children, you might be healing your inner child, or you might be thinking about having children. Being with children can be a great way to recapture wonder, innocence, unapologetic truth, and wisdom. Their realities are not yet muddied by shoulds or cannots, and their imaginations are often so wild and creative that they can be our biggest inspirers. Furthermore, as their incarnation from pure spirit is more recent, they are still aware of energy and have a natural psychic awareness. Sometimes adulting can become too serious. When this happens, bringing a childlike, lighthearted sense of play to your perspective can be the most productive way to rebalance. Facing challenging circumstances with inquisitiveness can bring joy to whatever we are accomplishing. Imagine stepping into a child's shoes and seeing how they perceive the world. If you have a problem, consider how a child might solve it. Think back to when you were little and what you loved to do. Remember how the world felt around you and how magical and mysterious things may have been. What has changed? What would you tell the 7-year-old you? The little people of today will be the inventors, creators, and leaders of tomorrow. How can we help nourish their big souls to ready them for an optimal journey through life? Right now, powerful souls are incarnating onto Earth to help with the progression of this planet. All children are equally special, but some may have different or unique needs due to their more sensitive and energetic natures. The way children were brought up in previous generations may not be the best options for today. Humans are evolving, and children can be our wisest teachers. May we listen to them with our hearts and let their ways unveil fresh new eyes so we may see a whole new world. Divinatory meaning, a whole new world. I'm thinking of Aladdin. Bring a sense of play, lightness, and spontaneity to your life. Be inspired by children or your inner child. You are encouraged to add inquisitiveness, fun, and laughter to your reality. This card may signify the presence of a child in your life. Spending time with children will help you experience the world from a fresh perspective and see them as the inspiring teachers they are. I love this. I think a lot of people operate under the assumption that children like don't know what they're doing. They don't they don't know anything. But I really love that. I think kids have an amazing wisdom because their minds haven't been shaped, just as the card said, into shoulds or shouldn'ts or boxes. And because those conditions of the social conditioning haven't been impressed on their minds yet, they're much more open to the possibilities available to them. They're also, I think, more connected to our elders because on either end of the spectrum, our elders are heading towards the end of life, whereas the children have come from the end of life. And I think the psychic perspective thing is really interesting too. Um, what would it mean if, for instance, you viewed your child's imagination as potential for psychic awareness, or 555 on the timer? Maybe you have a child that's particularly sensitive, or you were a child that's particularly sensitive, Three of Pentacles coming out, and what you thought was maybe just imagination or your imaginary friend is like an ability that you have to see like through realms or beyond realms, or open your mind to new planes of perspective. With the Three of Pentacles here, I love that there's actually a child on this Three of Pentacles. These three are working as a family together. The Three of Pentacles can indicate within the self, if you're not working with children or you don't have a child and that doesn't resonate with you. Um, Regardless of that circumstance, the Three of Pentacles can indicate the Trinity of mind, body, and spirit being aligned. So if you've lacked play or wonder and you've gotten too serious in your life, the healing of the inner child by opening yourself to, as it said, curiosity, rather than maybe planning things out day by day if you're a planner. Opening yourself to curiosity and seeing what comes through can help to bring balance into your life. The three, oh wow, the Three of Cups, 333, 45, 333. Okay, so the Three of Cups talks about embracing a sisterhood or a brotherhood. This is also really interesting because the Pleiades is here, and a lot of star seeds claim to be from the Pleiades, especially the indigo children. So you might be finding a sense of community with your starseed ancestors. You might be getting communications or downloads from the stars, from the light emanations that sent themselves forth to illuminate your existence here. um I'm really interested in this actually, and she's got the Trinity on her back right there as well. Let's see. 10 of Cups. Wow. Wow. I'm like giddy. I feel so excited. There's this sense here that you've been missing a feeling of community in your life since you were a child. And the only thing that will really fulfill this sense of community, this 10 of Cups, is opening yourself to the vibration of this connection with your starseed ancestors. I'm seeing the rainbow and the music notes on this card, like holding them in this hammock, and then there's these kids in the background. There's kids on every card except for the Three of Cups, and this is about, again, sisterhood. So maybe you have a sister, and in childhood you were much more connected. This can talk a little bit about rejuvenating that sense of connection. This is interesting too. There's also like a bass clef note on this right up here, but not a treble. I'm hearing that song, because I'm all about that bass, no treble. This is basically like getting back down to foundations, getting real, establishing reality through an emotional regulation that gears yourself towards wish fulfillment, hopeful thinking, and is grounded in your elemental 3D existence. The green and red here talk about the threading together of the the heart and the root. So heart is green, root is red. Heart and root chakra. So basically, looking at that interplay between the emotions that well up and guide you, and the way that those reflect in your 3D reality, and what the basically what the consequences of that is. I'm not really sure where that's going, but we will get there. Okay. I feel like this is a very like ethereal reading. It's feeling really far out there. All right, so we have two cards that came up. Ten of Pentacles reversed, the Nine of Swords. So with the Ten of Pentacles being reversed here and the Nine of Swords, I see that happiness is readily available to you if you're able to overcome the illusions of the mind. So your mind, your social conditioning with the Three of Pentacles and the Three of Cups and the Ten of Cups has potentially your previous social conditioning is now being undone. You have 3 and 3, 9 here, and then 2 tens. So closure and a reestablishing essentially of your self-talk. The Hangman reverse. Oh, also though, this is really interesting too. We talked about opening your perspective to viewing your imagination as psychism. Nine of Swords can sometimes talk about existing in the astral realm, being able basically to see through dimensional planes, right? These different rays on the rainbow can talk about different rays or expressions of existence, different dimensional planes. So you could be recognizing the power of your ability to tune in across dimensional realities, like through your vibe. Basically, you're learning how to tune your vibe emotionally so that you can get downloads, so that you can work with your guides, and so that you can be aware of what you're creating in the astral. So this Nine of Swords with the Hangman reversed, I think, is you integrating the wisdom of your imagination, recognizing the importance of the imagination, and planting seeds in your desires and your wish fulfillment and your reality, so that those seeds can come to fruition later. Basically, if you can dream it, you can do it, is what this reading is getting to. Yeah, the Emperor. That's wonderful. If you can dream it, you can do it. And the High Priestess, no way. Like intuitively, you know exactly what you're doing. You know exactly how, where, when, why. But there's something in the material that's making you feel a little bit undone. Like you're second guessing yourself. Like, are you sure? Are you sure this is what I'm supposed to be doing? The Devil reverse, the Knight of Cups reverse. The spirit says yes. You're undoing patterns of codependency with the Knight of Cups reverse, the Devil reversed, whether that be with substances, with people, with romance, with a romantic view of life that excludes your individual perspective. Basically, a romanticized view of life is one that is inherently socially conditioned into us, right? Like we had the Whole New World song come up from Aladdin. Really, any of the sort of romance things that we see in Disney movies, right? That's a happily ever after that is imprinted on us, and not necessarily one that we as individuals without that influence would have considered our happiness at one point. So you're wiping the slate clean to a degree that you can, I guess, divorce yourself from some forms of social conditioning, so that you're allowed to set sort of a new expectation for what your happiness is. And it looks like your happiness is really dependent on your ability to stand on your own 2 feet with the Emperor here, and to be able to intuit and commune and divine. You might be a psychic or a reader. It may have taken, even if you're just intuitive, right? I feel like our culture has conditioned our people to not trust their intuition, to need external validation to create good consumers, right? So you are re-establishing trust with your intuition, And this is the rule. This is your ruler, your intuition, your emotions, your ability to see the interplay of your emotions with your actions and watch that unfold into reality. That's the new norm for you. I trust my intuition. Strength reversed. Three of Swords reversed. King of Cups reversed. What is this? Death reversed. The Ace of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles. The Star. And the King of Swords reversed. And the Fool. Okay. You may have been lying to yourself about how strong you are. You may have embraced the lie that it is strength to close the heart, to move on, to make money, to do the whole like planting the seeds until you know, create your house of cards kind of thing. This is odd though. I feel like somebody's projecting onto you. You're here, Death reversed, King of Cups reversed. There's like this sense of self-rejection. But I have this feeling that it's somebody projecting onto you. What is this? The Queen of Cups. Someone in your family. Three of Pentacles reversed. Somebody who wishes to... Nine of Pentacles. Somebody who wishes to, like, stop working with you. It could be somebody in your family. But basically, there's this projection onto you from somebody close, because you're in this sort of Nine of Pentacles energy. Like, I'm just doing me. I'm putting my energy where I know I am good at, like, putting my energy, and I'm enjoying the fruits of my labors. This is a gift though, this projection. The Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, literally, it might be somebody who, like, you really respect, who you may even look up to, somebody who is very stable, who's very good at caring for themselves, who you find very strong. They might be thinking the same thing about you, and they may even be sort of avoiding you because they feel threatened or something with the Strength reversed. They feel like a petty sort of jealousy with the Three of Swords reversed, Strength reversed, about your stability, about your emotional kindness. They may even be telling a story to others that, like, you haven't been able to transform, Death reverse, that you're King of Cups reverse, that you're emotional narcissist or something. Yeah, you might find out that somebody's been kind of looking one way and saying another, and I don't think it's really going to be a big deal for you. Like, you've got, it actually might be like a blessing in disguise. The Ace of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, the Star, wish fulfillment, the Fool, and then King of Swords reversed. What is this lie? King of Swords reversed, Two of Wands reverse, Page of Cups reverse, the Hermit reverse, Seven of Swords. Okay, so somebody's trying to disarm you from being successful in your life by just being wishy-washy. They'll offer you one thing, they'll take it away. They'll open a door only to close it in your face. They'll invite you to go out and then, like, not show up, or they'll be late, or they'll invite you to go out and invite a whole bunch of other people and, like, not spend time with you. Like, the lie is that this person wants to be connected to you, or the lie is that this person actually has a lot of respect for you, and it's making them, like, feel small. Huh. Okay. We're gonna move on from that. I don't know why that was such a big part of the reading. Somebody's just trying to take you down off your high horse. That's what I heard. Seven of Wands reverse, but they're projecting. Hangman and the Sun. Um, and the Queen of Wands. Yeah, you're just doing you. Happiness is coming your way. If you have a son or a child with somebody, like you're stable, you're continuing to stay stable. With the Hangman here, you're abundant, you're caring and nurturing with the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups. And you just walk away from the drama. I think you may also be dealing with somebody who like thinks they're psychic and they're not. Like if you're oh, Jesus. That's what this is. Okay. The Death and the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, if you're like a psychic or a tarot card reader or somebody who like reads energy, this is showing like workplace or friendship sort of uh encounters where like because you're super psychic or because you're like healed, like your inner child is, at least you're healed to a degree where like your inner child is what comes out first, right? You might seem a little foolish with the Fool here. I think there's that trope of the the wise fool, like kind of like Rurouni Kenshin, if you ever watched that. Like he acts like a total fool, but um when you give him a sword in a battle, like he's gonna kick your ass. So I think this is that. Like you come off like this sort of playful, childlike, maybe foolish person, but when it comes down to business, like whether you talk to ghosts or whether you read tarot or you're a psychic or you're just intuitive as fuck, there's somebody who feels threatened by that in your environment who may be like trying to compete with you. But of course, the journey to opening our psychic channels is one that requires us doing the work, and the rainbow here for me in that regard indicates the chakra system, the work in the chakra system that allows you to open your third eye. Is astral. This is the astral realm. We do work in the third eye. We envision. We make vision boards. There's a whole bunch of other things we can do for that. So I think that's what's coming through with this starseed elemental. You might even be working with sounds and tones and certain vibrations to harness those powers of the chakras. You can definitely look into that. I think this is where I'm going to end this reading out. So just be willing to accept your gifts this week. You might be very gifted. You might just be willing to accept that you have a gift and allow yourself to let it soak in. Let that soak in. I have a gift, and I am slowly offering like that gift to the world through my path of service. If this resonates for you, please do let me know. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And remember, I'll be announcing the free reading winner this week. Freedom. Ooh, I love this. Freedom is your word. Freedom comes from a state of mind, not being attached to what others think. Feeling free from this kind of attachment is a successful achievement in itself. It stimulates the activation of our divinity gene. That's cool. That's kind of what's going on with this high priestess, right? There are millions of people so fortunate to live in a free country. Unfortunately, they feel imprisoned by certain circumstances in their lives. Yet when Mahatma Gandhi and Nelson Mandela were imprisoned for years, they felt totally free. These momentous occurrences were based on their certainty and passion for their mission. The importance of these events proves that to feel free is to be free. This transpires when the potential of our human wholeness is inspired by the power of our spiritual holiness. Remember, freedom is the feeling birthed from our internal independence. So I think that that's what's going on here with the divorcing of the self from social conditioning and preconceived notions of what happiness is supposed to be. You're again like wiping the slate clean to a certain extent so that you can really feel into what makes you happy and really see in the 3D like what that looks like. Um, and it's something that's a little more broad than you were initially expecting it to be, a little bit more out there than maybe you were expecting it to be, but you are freeing yourself by by not trying to adhere to the expectations of others, especially if you're working in a space that's a little more underregulated, like psychism, like tarot card reading. There's definitely people out there who would be like, oh, that person doesn't know what they're talking about, like they can't prove it. they're they're full of it, you know. There's just a little bit more room for slander, where scientific evidence doesn't stand to act as proof. So I think this is a really great reading, Scorpio. The sun, death, and the wheel of fortune, to close it out with freedom. Like, you are fully stepping into you, the individuated, authentic, wise fool that you are. Thank you for doing the work. Thank you for being here. And I'll see you all soon. All right. Have a good week. Happy birthday.